Good evening, friends. This is Francis Langford bringing you a part of the American scene, Maxwell House Coffee Time. May we come in?
It's Maxwell House Coffee Time, brought to you each week by Maxwell House, the coffee that's bought and enjoyed by more people than any other brand of coffee in the world at any price. So have another cup of coffee and listen to 30 minutes of words and music and reminiscence. This week, the voice of Eloise, the Maxwell House Orchestra and Choir under the baton of Carmen Dragon, bring you the music of Jerome Kern. This is Toby Reed, and here is your hostess, Francis Langford.
Ooh, stole my heart away. Makes me dream all day. Dreams I know can never be true. Seems as though I'll ever be blue. Who means my happiness? Who would I answer yes to? Well, you ought to guess who. No one but you. Who means my happiness? Who would I answer yes to? Well, you ought to guess who. No one but you. No one but you. Thank you very much.
That was only sensational, Francis, only sensational.
Well, thank you, Toby. Jerome Kern wrote it, and you can't do any better than the Kern song.
And Marilyn Miller introduced it, didn't she?
She certainly did, in Sunny. And there's another song of hers that's a favorite of mine, too, from the Kern musical, Sally.
Look for the silver lining?
Exactly. And if you don't mind, Toby, I'd like to sing it.
Mind, I'll sit right here at your feet and listen.
Look for the silver lining whene'er a cloud appears in the blue. Remember somewhere the sun is shining, and so the right thing to do is make it shine for you. A heart full of joy and gladness will always banish sadness and strife. So always look for the silver lining and try to find the sunny side of life.
Look for the silver lining. You know, there's nothing very complicated about a melody like this. It could be expressed with a few simple notes. For a brilliant composer like Jerome Kern, the melody is just a beginning. Rich and pleasing harmonies are skillfully blended to bring out the unique qualities of every note. And a simple melody becomes a musical creation that's eternal in its popular appeal. Now, in much the same way, skilled craftsmen create Maxwell House coffee, combining the distinctive flavor qualities of many great Latin American coffees to achieve the rounded perfection of the one unsurpassed Maxwell House blend. Our Maxwell House experts choose Manizales for mellowness. They select Medellins for richness. They add other superb coffees for robust vigor. And they blend in Bucaramangas for fine, full body. And it all adds up to great coffee at its flavor peak. A blend so wonderfully delicious it's bought and enjoyed by more people than any other brand of coffee in the world. So why not get the best in coffee drinking pleasure? You can for just a fraction of a penny more per cup than the cheapest coffee sold. Just say Maxwell House, always good to the last drop.
So always look for the silver lining and try to find the sunny side of life. Jerry Kern's world was a mighty big world. You know that, Toby?
Well, I know his music has been sung all over the
You
world.
bet it has. Because like all good music, it speaks an international language. When Jerry Kern sings of a river or a city or of love, you don't have to understand the words to know what he means. For his music is a key to any heart that responds to beauty. Listen as the Maxwell House Choir and Orchestra bring you the haunting melody Jerome Kern called All the Things You Are.
Certainly one of Jerome Kern's best-known scores comes from the magnificent musical Showboat. And here is Francis Langford to sing the unforgettable Can't Help Loving That Man.
Oh, listen, sister, I love my Mr. Man, and I can't tell you why. There ain't no reason why I should love that man.
It must be something that the angels done planned. Fish gotta swim, birds gotta fly. I've gotta love one man till I die. Can't help loving that man of mine. Tell me he's lazy, tell me he's slow, tell me he's crazy, maybe I know. Can't help loving that man of mine. Goes away. That's a rainy day. But when he comes back, that day is fine. The sun will without him ain't no home to me. Can't help loving that man of
The American scene is many different things. Right now in your town, it might be the play that the Women's Club puts on about this time of year.
In my opinion, women's clubs are a menace, a nuisance, and a complete bore.
Well, I don't talk that way about your clubs.
My clubs are intelligent, high-minded organizations where men spend their time in intellectual pursuits, like playing poker.
Well, anyhow, I told the Women's Club you'd be glad to cooperate.
Well, I won't be. This time you can just go to someone else's father.
But no one else has a father that's as good an actor as you.
Well, that's quite right. But I'm not wasting my talents on those old hens in that chicken club. Who's going to direct the ham bake this year?
Jerry?
Jerry Collins?
That's right.
Well, when did he join the Women's Club?
Don't be silly. He's just directing the play because he did it in high school, and he's familiar with it.
What's the play?
MacBeth.
Who's playing MacBeth?
Jerry.
Jerry Collins?
Uh-huh.
Why, he couldn't make the Fourth Road Company of Penrod.
That's very small of you, Pop.
Well, Jerry's been trying his best to become an idiot all summer. With a little more time, he's going to make it.
You know your father's a cinch, so you leave him staring darkly into his coffee cup, and you go over to trap your next victim. Oh, you'll be wonderful, Carmen. The part was made for you.
You think to yourself, steady, old man, she's turning it on. It's only a step from here to the guillotine. Say no and say it fast.
I was just saying to Pop, I was saying, Carmen will never let us down. Carmen knows how important the Women's Club is to the town.
You think to yourself, say it, Carmen. Say anything. Say you feel a broken leg coming on.
Please, Carmen.
She gives you a look, you know, the kind that makes you yell, Uncle, and then kill him when he comes. And you hear yourself saying, sure, Francis, I'd love to be in the play.
Well, that takes care of Carmen. And you go after the third marked man. Hello, Toby.
You think to yourself, uh-oh, I've heard those tones before. She's coming, and I'm going to get the worst of it.
Remember when you played Hamlet in high school, Toby? You were just wonderful.
Well, I didn't exactly play Hamlet, Francis. I carried a spear.
But you carried it so beautifully, and you had such poise and distinction. Toby, the Women's Club is putting on a play.
Not with me, they aren't.
Oh, Toby.
You think to yourself, I knew it. Here comes the waterworks. You feel like a heel, just the way she wants you to.
I never thought you'd let me down.
Oh, Francis, be fair. I carried your books for you. I cranked your ice cream freezers and beat your fudge. I ran your errands. Why, you had only to back, and I carried. But please don't ask me to make a public spectacle of myself.
Very well, Toby. If you wish to let me down when there's a crisis, that, of course, is your prerogative. But I must say, Carmen was certainly more cooperative. Carmen agreed immediately.
Is that poor man's John Philip Sousa going to be in your play?
Carmen would never turn down a ladies' club in distress.
When's the rehearsal?
And so the next night, your cast arrives for your first rehearsal.
I have all your parts here.
What am I playing, Jerry?
You're the first witch.
I'm the what?
You're the first witch, Mr. Hogue.
Do I look like a witch to you, Jerry?
Please don't make me answer that, sir. Mr. Dragon, you're the second witch.
I just remembered, my first violinist has a terribly sick second cousin. I'm afraid I'll have to ask you to excuse me.
Deserter.
I'm a rat, aren't I?
Don't make me answer that.
You wouldn't walk out on me, would you, Carmen?
I wouldn't. I'd never let Francis down, no matter what she asked of me.
Neither would I.
You're the third witch.
Good night, everybody.
Oh, come on now. At least try your parts, please. For the sake of the woman's club. For a terrible moment, you think they're all going to leave. But they finally take their parts and the rehearsal begins.
When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won.
What's the hurly-burly?
That's a lot of loose sharps and flats, I guess.
Please, kindly stick to your parts. Mr. Reed?
That will be ere the set of sun.
Where the place?
Upon the heath.
There to meet with MacBeth.
It's Macbeth, Mr. Reed, Macbeth.
Well, I was just trying to make it rhyme with Heath. Carmen says Heath.
You read your own part. Never mind mine.
I have to follow you.
Come on, fellas, read the script, will you? Go on, Pop.
I come, Gray Malkin. What the heck is a Gray Malkin?
That's Mr. Dragon.
I resent that.
Why? The name fits beautifully.
Come on, fellas, it's only a play.
Well, I refuse to be called Gray Malkin.
You just have to be.
Who says so?
William Shakespeare.
Oh, well, in that case, all right.
Will you say your line again, Mr. Hogue?
I come, Gray Malkin.
Paddock calls. Paddock. Paddock is a thing for a horse, a broken-down barn.
Paddock is Mr. Reed's name.
Oh, typecasting.
Why,
Toby, please, read your line.
Anon.
Best line he's had. Beautiful reading, old man.
Listen, you fat-headed...
Now, everyone reads together.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Doesn't that sound a little silly to you, Jerry?
It's William Shakespeare, and Francis wants it.
Oh, well, of course. Then it doesn't matter if it sounds silly.
You spend weeks and weeks rehearsing, and then you start having costume fittings.
If I have to wear skirts, I want ruffles on them.
We have wigs for all three of you, and masks.
Francis, will you do me a favor? Where it says first witch on the program, write anonymous opposite it, will you?
Will you do the same on the third witch, will you?
The programs are already printed. Mr. Dragon, we can't pin your skirts if you keep wiggling.
Why can't I play the part of Macbeth?
You're just better for a witch, Pop.
Remind me to say something nice about you sometime.
Hey, while you're standing here, you might as well go over your lines. Let's try the beginning of the fourth act. Your line, Mr. Hogue.
Thrice the brinded cat hath mewed.
Mr. Hogue, please! Put a little more personality into it. Remember, you're a witch.
Then get me a broomstick and I'll get right out of here.
Let your words come out full and pear-shaped.
Yeah, so round, so firm, so fully pear-shaped.
Come on, Mr. Hogue.
Thrice the brinded cat hath mewed. Does that sound like pears?
Spoiled pears.
Oh, hang the blasted line anyhow. If that won't do it yourself.
All right, Mr. Hogue. If that's the best you can do, the Woman's Club will just have to accept it.
I will never understand why the Women's Club had to go outside their own organization to find witches.
Please. born again.
Rice the brine that cat hath mewed.
Thrice and once the hedge pig whined.
Harper cries, 'tis time, 'tis time.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
They're getting better, aren't they?
I don't think Shakespeare would agree with you.
And so the days pass. The ladies canvass from door to door selling tickets. And on the great night, the high school auditorium is packed to the doors. And the show goes on.
All hail, Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Glamis.
All hail, Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
All hail, Macbeth. Thou shalt be king hereafter.
Stay, you imperfect speakers, tell me more. By Sindel's death, I know I am Thane of Glamis. But how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives, a prosperous gentleman. And to be king...
You sit there listening to the old words written in another country in an earlier century. And you think of all the footlights these words have crossed in schools and civic auditoriums and theaters. And the words have a stirring ring of a great master of drama. And the actors have taken on a kind of magic, and you're proud of them. And you think, the theater is a great part of the American scene, the professional groups and the amateurs. And dramatic words you listen to and remember, and are always ready to hear again.
I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven or to hell.
Summer theatricals. The Straw Hat Circuit really is pulling the crowds right now, packing the barns from Pasadena to Skowhegan.
Sure, and there's something else pleasing to people coast to coast these days.
Meaning Maxwell House coffee, hey, Francis? How right you are. Like summer theater and summer fun, Maxwell House is a real part of the American scene, too. Coffee? Well, it's our national drink. And this fact stands out. Today, with over 1,000 coffee brands to choose from, more people buy and enjoy Maxwell House than any other brand of coffee at any price. Explaining this popularity story is flavor, of course. That good to the last drop Maxwell House flavor that comes from the masterful blending of premium Latin American coffees, radiant roasted to perfection. Flavor plus value. For with all this extra flavor, Maxwell House costs but a fraction of a penny more per cup than the cheapest coffee sold. Right now is a good time for iced coffee, and icing is a real test of coffee flavor, and the Maxwell House flavor really stands up. Brings you a hot weather drink that's tops. But hot or iced, be sure you get Maxwell House. Always good to the last drop.
When Victor Herbert died, Jerome Kern became the new dean of American music. It was a formal title, but he was far from a formal man. He loved unconventional suits and ties and hats. He loved to tease and play pranks and eat things like kippered herring for breakfast. He was loved, and he loved deeply and fervently. He was a pretty wonderful person. You can say a lot about Jerry Kern, but when you get around to his music, you have to let that speak for itself. Listen while Eloise, the choir, Carmen Dragon, and the orchestra and I bring you some of the music that has made Jerome Kern an immortal part of the American scene. Along came Bill, who's not the type at all. You'd meet him on the street and never notice him. His form and face, his manly grace are not the kind that you would find in a statue. I can't explain. It's really not his brain that makes me thrill. I love him because he's wonderful, because he's just my Bill.
you're lovely. You know what? So lovely. So what you do to me. I'm like an ocean wave that bumps on the shore. I feel so absolutely stumped on the floor. When you dance, you're charming and you're gentle, especially when you do the continental. But this feeling isn't purely mental, for heaven rest us, I'm not as fast and that's why I won't dance. Why should I won't dance. How could I won't dance. Let me go too. I know that music leads the way to romance. So if I hold you in my arms, I won't dance.
Long ago and far away, I dreamed a dream one day, and now that dream is here beside me.
On the skies were overcast, but now the clouds have passed. You're here at last.
Chills run up and down my spine. Aladdin's lamp is mine. The dream I dreamed was not denied me.
Just one look and then I
This is Francis Langford inviting you to be with us again next week at Maxwell House Coffee Time when Eloise, Carmen Dragon, Toby Reed, the orchestra, the choir, and yours truly will return with some of your favorite songs, another vista of the American scene, and of course some words and music about Maxwell House. Join us then and make your enjoyment doubly complete by listening over your cups of Maxwell House. Always good to the last drop.
Just a taste of Jell-O pudding, and believe me, you will know.
You'll know you never tasted anything better. And Jell-O puddings are back at your grocer's right now. Jell-O puddings with that rich, distinctive homemade goodness. Flavor that's best by your own taste test. Mellow and smooth as cream. Jell-O chocolate pudding, Jell-O butterscotch pudding, Jell-O vanilla pudding. They're made with milk and nourishing. They cook in just about 5 minutes. That's Jell-O puddings. You never tasted anything better.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.